Hello, everybody. Welcome to CVG-TV. My name is Gregory Parks, and you are watching ConLink. With me this time is another one of our guests of honor. We have a writer and game designer, or I'm going to say author. Author sounds so much more, so much more honoring than just a writer. So we have author and game designer, Carlos Hernandez. Hello, Carlos.
Hello.
Welcome.
It is great to be here. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us. So Carlos is a co-founder of the CUNI Games Network and Board Games Designer Group of New York. He is an author of a critically acclaimed collection of stories called The Assimilated Cuban's Guide to Quantum Santeria, as well as Sal and Gabby Break the Universe and Sal and Gabby Fix the Universe, and also has written several Marvel one-shots. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today.
Oh, it's so great to be here. I mean, it's such an honor to be a guest of honor, and yeah.
So you'll be joining us this year at CONvergence in Minneapolis. What is one of your favorite parts of conventions?
Oh.
Or what are some of your favorite parts of conventions?
So, I mean, this is going to sound like an exaggeration, but I owe like 85% of my happiness in life to conventions, maybe 87. I met my wife at a convention at ReaderCon in 2014. This is award-winning writer C.S.E. Cooney. And this was like at the nadir of my life when I had my heart broken. I didn't feel like I was doing good art, like I didn't know where my career was going. But so in short, yada, 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 my every success that I can count on my hands, I can attribute to some connection or some good that came out of conventions. So, you know, conventions have just been like my fairy godmother. They've just been like blessing on you, and here's another one, have a third. Besides that, it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, true that. So you were talking about conventions just being a big source of so many good things that happened to you in life. What would one of your dream convention experiences be? Like dream guests to meet at a convention?
Oh, like a person that I would like to encounter at a convention.
Yes,
really,
or several people.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be just one.
I would say, like, you know, the good news is I've got to meet a couple of those people. Like, I think it was last year I got to meet Martha Wells, for instance, who is just like the sweetest, nicest person in the world. And yeah, I mean, I've had the privilege of meeting some really good people. I guess, like, if I was gonna, you know, just sort of like meet somebody at a con, I've never, you know, shared a room with Neil Gaiman yet. That would be pretty great. I feel like he's sort of like the fairy godfather of SFF right now, where, you know, he basically says the right thing more or less all the time and showers his benisons upon us. I guess you know, I also would say, like, in terms of like experiences, because I think you asked that too. You know, what I want of cons so much isn't something that I haven't had before, but it's just that they, instead of being like a weekend, what if they lasted like 3.5 weeks? You know, like, what if we could all take like 3.5 weeks off and not have that immediate sort of like con dip that happens where you're just like, oh my gosh, I just met 20,000 great people. I had so much fun. I never want to sleep again. But now I'm back in my New York apartment, and it's small, and, you know, I guess there's the insect life to talk to, but it's not quite the same.
No, it isn't.
No.
And that con dip, that con drop that you talked about is a real thing.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's just like, what I want is like more interaction with all the people that I meet at cons, because it's a self-selecting population of awesomeness.
Yeah, a self-selecting group of awesomeness. Yeah. And just the sharing of things that you're excited about, and either introducing someone to something new or being introduced to something new.
Ooh, yeah.
That's going to be your new favorite thing, probably. So
happens all the time. You know, I love how smart everybody is at a con and how willing they are to share their deep and abiding nerddoms. Like I want everybody at the con to know that I am a Street Fighter 6 master level Honda. So like if you want to bring it, I'm ready. Honda's kind of low tier, but I still do pretty well with them. So I'm ready for some Street Fighter if you are. Like I'm 53 years old. Like getting master at 53, like I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty proud. I don't have my 20-year-old reflexes anymore, but I'm wily. I'm cute.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, like gaming to me has taught me so much about writing because in games, you're always trying to have fun. And in writing, sometimes you can forget how much joy you're supposed to be taking out of the process of discovery and rendering the world back to the world in language. It's easy to forget how much pleasure can be got there when you're in the weeds, when you're under deadline, when the words just aren't coming easily. And what I've really tried to do, especially like in the last 10 years, is just remind myself that I am my own first reader and I need to be pleasing this guy before I can move on to pleasing anybody else in my writing.
Wow, that's a great insight there about remembering to have fun. Next question, this might be our last. What are you currently working on, or what are you currently involved in that has you excited?
Yeah. So here are a few things. So right now, I get to write the introduction to a Ghost Rider anthology. I have to say that carefully because it's not Ghost Writer. It's the Marvel character Ghost Rider. So the modern Robbie Reyes, not motorcycle. He's got a
Robbie Reyes. So the car.
Yeah. So it's Robbie Reyes.
His car is sweet.
It is, and like I have to tell you, like Marvel's new stuff is so really good. Like I had to do a lot of research into Robbie Reyes to be able to write a little 6-page introduction, or I should say in conclusion, because it's the framing of this anthology. And it's featuring Robbie's little brother, Gabriel. I don't want to say too much more than that about it, except that comic book writing is hecka fun. It's kind of like a dream because I can't draw worth a darn, but man, I get to tell some of the best illustrators out there what I want them to draw for me, and it is great. It's a good gig.
Well, thank you very much, Carlos, for sharing some of your excitement and some of your work with us today. And I look forward to seeing you at CONvergence.
I'm really looking forward to it. Also, I'm really nice. Feel free to approach. We can talk about stuff. We can nerd out. Thank you so much for having me today, and cannot wait for the con.
Right. Thank you, Carlos. And thank you for joining us today, too. My name is Gregory Parks, and you have been watching ConLink on CVG-TV.